A mysterious videotape, a chilling phone call, and a terrifying promise: 7 days until you die. When a young woman watches the cursed tape, she thinks it's just a myth. But as the days count down, she realizes something evil is watching, waiting, and coming for her. To know what happened next, watch till the end. The movie starts on a plane, where a young man named Carter, looking nervous and his hands shaking. The woman next to him, Faith, asks what's wrong. Carter says that a week ago, he watched a creepy video, and after that, he got a phone call saying he would die in 7 days, which is 5 minutes from now. Since then, he has felt strange. Carter then goes to the bathroom as the plane starts shaking. Faith's friend, Kelly, returns and Faith tells her Carter's story. She panics because she also saw the video. She rushes to get Carter, but suddenly, the plane starts falling. A thick, dark, slimy liquid oozes from the bathroom. Carter steps back in fear as flies come out of the cockpit. On a screen, he sees Samara Morgan climbing out of a well and into the plane. 2 years later, a college student named Skye goes to a yard sale and finds a VCR with some tapes. A professor named Gabriel tells her that these items belong to Carter's father, who died in the plane crash. That night, after Gabriel and Skye sleep together, Gabriel adjusts the VCR, and the cursed tape comes out. He watches it and sees strange images before the phone rings. A voice on the other end says, 7 days. He then looks outside and shocked to see that the rain starts falling upward. The next day, we meet Julia and her boyfriend Holt. Holt is leaving for college. Later, they have a Skype call, but Holt's roommates pull him away to hang out. That night, Julia dreams that Holt comes to visit her and making love with her, but it turns into a nightmare when something terrifying rushes at her. She wakes up and finds Holt calling her. When she answers, she sees Skye looking scared and saying, she is coming. Julia drives to Holt's college to find him. She enters his dorm room and discovers his class schedule. Hoping to track him down, she sneaks into Gabriel's class when he is teaching. After the class, she tries to ask Holt's friends about him, but they seem uninterested to talk to her. She then asks Gabriel about Holt, but he also does not know about him. She then walks through the building where she finds a book written by Gabriel about the mystery of Samara. Passing by a student lounge, she overhears Gabriel and Skye talking urgently about Holt. Recognizing Skye from the video chat, Julia follows her to her car. Skye tells Julia to come with her, making Julia believe she will take her to Holt. Skye takes Julia to her apartment. While Skye sets something up on her laptop, Julia checks her phone and sees a message from Holt. When she replies, Holt urgently warns her not to watch whatever Skye is about to show her. Skye sees Julia texting Holt and gets angry and tries to force Julia to watch the tape, but Julia locks herself in the bathroom. The clock reads 7:10 and Skye panics. She smashes her laptop, thinking she's safe, but then the TV turns on by itself. She unplugs it, but it still powers on. Desperate, she pulls it off the wall and lays it face down, but it still turns on. Suddenly, Samara crawls out of the screen and stares at Skye, killing her. Samara then seems to open the bathroom door on Julia, but when the door swings open, no one is there. Julia tries to leave but finds the door locked. She reaches into Skye's jacket pocket for the keys, only for Skye's head to turn, revealing her twisted face. Julia runs out and bumps into Holt, who tells her to stay with him. Holt explains what happened and warns Julia not to watch the tape. He says that after Skye watched it, he did too, and has 12 hours to live. He further explains that they were both searching for someone to pass it on to, a tale, to avoid a terrible death. They then go to their apartment, and Holt receives a call from Gabriel. Gabriel tells him he will find a tale to pass the curse, but Holt tells him that he's no longer the one who needs it. At night, while Holt is asleep, Julia opens his laptop and watches the video. Right after, she gets the dreaded 7 days phone call. She has a vision of Samara where she is opening the door, but when she touches the door, her hand burns. Holt wakes up and sees her hand. He notices a burn mark from the phone handle. On the drive, Julia suddenly sees a bird crash into Holt's windshield, cracking it. But when she looks again, the windshield is fine. However, the bird is real. It's lying on the ground, struggling. Julia and Holt arrive at Gabriel's place for help as Holt's curse shifts to Julia. Professor Gabriel suggests them to make a copy of that video and make someone to watch it as it will pass the curse. At first, Julia refuses to do that because she does not want to kill someone innocent, but Holt manages to convince her, and she agrees. The three try to copy the tape to pass it on to someone else, but the file is too large. Looking closer, they find a hidden tape within the tape containing extra footage. The same bird appears, along with a church, a swarm of insects, and other strange images. After watching the video, the professor tells them that the church is located in Sacrament Valley, where Samara was buried. Holt and Julia decided to go to that place to end the curse. Gabriel hands her his research book about the Samara. On their way, Julia reads the book that Gabriel had given to her. She and Holt learn about the legend of Samara Morgan. Her parents believed she was evil, so they threw her into a well, where she survived for over 7 days before finally dying. Julia and Holt realize that Samara's soul is still trapped and trying to escape. To set her free, they need to find her remains and burn them. While driving, Julia sees a pregnant woman standing in the side of the road, which she saw in the videotape, but when she turns to see again, the woman has disappeared. The both of them arrive at the motel near the church, where Julia notices a picture on the wall. When she asks the owner about the picture, she refuses to tell anything about her. They go to the graveyard to find Samara's buried place among many other graves. Julia recognizes Samara's grave and decides to open it. When they open the tomb, they're shocked to find Samara's body missing. Suddenly, Julia has another terrifying vision of someone dragging her deeper into the tomb. Holt quickly pulls her out. Just then, a man notices the open grave and approaches them. The man takes Julia and Holt to the home of Burke, a blind former priest who has connection to Samara. Burke then invites Julia and Holt inside the house, and Julia tells Burke about her visions and everything she has been experiencing. After a brief conversation with Burke, Julia and Holt leave for a motel. On their way back, they find the road blocked due to an accident. Julia spots the pregnant woman again and steps out of the car. She and Holt then realize that the accident victim is Gabriel. They rush to help him, but before they can, a broken power line falls into a puddle of water beneath him. Gabriel is electrocuted and dies instantly. After this, they return to the motel for night stay. Holt excuses himself and goes to the motel lobby. There he sees a photo with the pregnant woman. The clerk, Karen, says the woman was Evelyn, later revealed to be Samara's mother. Meanwhile, Julia sneaks into the church by breaking a window. Inside, she discovers a hidden room where Samara's mother was kept for 8 months during pregnancy. However, she somehow managed to escape after 8 months. Meanwhile, at the motel, a woman named Karen tells Holt that Samara's mother, Evelyn, mysteriously disappeared 30 years ago. The townspeople believe she was having an affair with a church priest. It is then revealed that the priest was Burke, and he is Samara's father. Julia goes to Burke's house to learn more about the church priest, unaware that Burke himself is the priest. She starts talking about the cruel priest and how he mistreated his wife. Realizing that Julia is close to discovering the truth, Burke pretends to be friendly and invites her inside. Once she enters, he suddenly attacks her. Julia takes advantage of his blindness and hides inside the house. She runs upstairs and finds a room where Samara's skeleton is kept. Just as she is about to take it, Burke appears and grabs her. He tries to kill her, but suddenly, Julia's phone starts playing the cursed video. From the video, Samara crawls out. Since Burke is blind, Samara uses her powers to restore his sight. The moment Burke makes eye contact with her, and she kills him. Julia and Holt take Samara's bones and burn them, believing they have finally set her soul free. Later, Julia takes a shower while Holt listens to messages left by Gabriel. Gabriel explains that the mark on Julia's hand is actually in Braille. Curious, Holt searches online using a scanned picture of her hand. Meanwhile, Julia notices the burn mark on her hand peeling away, revealing gray skin underneath. She suddenly starts gagging and pulls out a long strand of hair from her throat, rolled up into a ball. Holt deciphers the braille and realizes that the mark means rebirth. Just then, his computer goes haywire and starts sending copies of the cursed video to all his contacts. People begin watching it, reacting in horror as Holt desperately tries to stop it. Julia wipes the foggy bathroom mirror, only to see Samara staring back at her. In this way, movie ends here. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more interesting movie recaps.